Here is another possible mystery boom in the Cincinnati area, just a few days apart from the report I documented in my last video with a boom in the Hamilton area and Mansfield area. I do not believe this to be a coincidence. These are atmospheric in origin, but they were strong enough to cause the ground to shake slightly. It was not just a vibration on the windows, which is what a sonic boom from a jet can do at 20,000 feet. I also found it interesting that 3 MUFON reports pop up on just east of Cincinnati and north of Columbus, Ohio. Now keep in mind, I don't think these UFO orbs are going to make it obvious that they cause the booms. They could be playing a game with us, testing us.
Head over to Jessica Brown, because we've been getting a lot of phone calls in the newsroom, Jessica, about some sort of loud boom in northern Kentucky.
You're absolutely right. Several residents have been talking about it out of northern Kentucky after hearing that loud boom. So Robert Guadarrama is live there with the latest in Newport. Are you hearing anything about this?
Good morning, Jessica. That's right. You know, we've heard so many reports coming into the newsroom from all really along the Ohio River in northern Kentucky. And joining me this morning is one of those, not eyewitness, but I guess you heard it, Debbie. Debbie Bonar. She lives here on 11th Street in Newport. Debbie, what time did this happen at?
It was a little after 7.
Okay. And what did you hear? Tell our viewers.
I mean, it was just a real loud boom, and it kind of shook things, you know, and I jumped up. It scared me. I really half expected to see a car that ran into my home or something.
Wow.
And I come outside to look, and I didn't see nothing out front. I went out back, and I mean, our alley, everybody was out there in pajamas and robes and stuff like that, you know, questioning what's going on and what they heard, and everybody heard the same thing.
I'm sure it's one of those things where you imagine, am I just hearing things? And when you went outside, you saw all the folks out there with you. They all heard the same thing. They all felt that shake.
Yes, they did. And I was getting my grandchildren ready to take them to school, and they were crying, all shook up. And my one granddaughter says, "We practice this at school all the time. We get down like this and hide under our desk, and we practice for this at school all the time, Mama." I mean, they were scared to death. They didn't know what was going on. They did not want to go to school. And they wanted me to come to school with them, you know, which I'm going to be there in a little bit because I volunteer on Fridays. But they were petrified. The children were petrified.
Sure, very, very, very startling, especially, you know, in the morning, early morning hours. You don't usually hear something like that. All right, Debbie, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. And, you know, we put in calls from our news desk. We've called all around the airport, the base, the fire here in northern Kentucky, and no one really has said what this is yet. We also have a call out to Duke Energy, so we are looking into it. Stay with Fox 19 now throughout the day, throughout the morning extra. We'll update you as soon as we get any new information. Also, on our Fox 19 app, we will send out a push alert once we figure out what this mysterious boom was. Jessica, live in Newport, I'm Robert Guadarrama. I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, really.
Only described it as a boom. A mysterious explosion sound heard yesterday evening. Maybe you heard it as well. We sent 9 on Your Side's Jay Warren to get some answers, and he talked to some of those people who heard it. Jay?
Well, Carol, that boom certainly startled many and left them wondering what exactly it was. Now, we can't tell you exactly what it was, but we do have an answer as to what it wasn't.
We just heard what sounded like an explosion. It sounded like a loud boom or explosion of some sort, and I don't know where it came from.
Some kind of huge explosion. I don't know what it was.
The phones were ringing off the hook for a while at the Butler County Communications Center yesterday as the calls flooded in from Hamilton's west side.
It was a loud boom, but it didn't sound like a normal transformer.
That's Daryl Pies, who was one of many to call 911 after he heard the boom.
My neighbor come out at the same time, and we were looking at each other. Did you hear that? He said, yeah. No. Don't know what happened, and we didn't see any smoke or anything.
Pies and his neighbor Jay Sutton thought that it perhaps could have been this electrical substation near their house, but that wasn't it.
My wife was taking a nap on the couch, and she actually woke up and was like, "What was that? Did something fall in the house?"
Sutton was able to tell her no, nothing in the house, but that was all. Right now, there aren't any answers as to what it was.
I sent an email to the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base inquiring that, you know, here in Butler County, a lot of people heard it, Is it a sonic boom?
What do you think your chances are of getting a response?
Well, you know, it's a military. It's worth a shot.
I'm guessing you'd probably be curious to know if your neighbor gets an answer to his email from the Air Force. Then.
Yes, I would.
What do you think the chances are of that happening?
Slim to none.
Now, those gentlemen might be surprised to know that I got a very quick response from a young staff sergeant at Wright-Patt who said they were not operating in this airspace yesterday and suggested perhaps I call the 122nd Fighter Wing up in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I did that, have not had a call back. So right now, the mystery remains. Jay Warren, 9 on your side, Hamilton.
The first sighting was on the 13th at 7:30 p.m. over Wilmington, Ohio. Summary states, strange red-orange lights spread out in a straight line several times across the sky. White blinking lights were also surrounding the area. Just a day later on the 14th over Hillsboro, Ohio at 7:40 p.m., summary states, I observed a big boomerang or triangle-shaped object almost directly over my house. Me and my kids watched it move very slowly, no noise. Military jets showed up and it just went in all directions. End quote. Now I see this a lot, the person is implying or wants to believe it was one single craft. But in most cases it is just 3 orbs in a triangle formation. I've personally seen this type of sighting. It is common, but people like to think it's one large craft, but it's not, they are separate individual orbs. The next one was reported a day later on the 15th in Hillsboro at 7:40 p.m. Summary states, driving through Hillsboro saw triangle-like object moving slowly, pulled over to watch, lights pulsated and then it like changed shapes and was gone. Again, the changing shape could be them observing the 3 individual orbs moving around. Also, these UFOs have the ability to morph. The next sighting was also on the 15th at 7:45 p.m. just a few miles over in Greenfield. Summary states witnessed multiple objects largest pulsating and rotate. Mid-size round yellowish lights would go on off. Multiple small flashing lights all around the others. This case could be describing the pulsating color changing ability of these orbs. End quote. I have also seen this type of UFO. The last sighting was back on the 14th, just 15 miles southwest of Mansfield at 7:44 p.m. Notice the times are all very close. The mystery booms were on the 12th, 13th, and 17th. Summary states, 3 UFOs in sky. They were lined up. Top, middle, and bottom. But they all appeared to be spread far apart. Again, these were most likely those orbs in a different configuration. I think these MUFON cases really increase the probability that the booms were caused by these orbs. Keep in mind only 4 reports are found on MUFON on average per day, with at least half being misidentified. To have 5 in one state alone in just 3 days in close proximity is very rare. But these UFOs are not making it obvious for clear reasons. I really think these jinn or fairy orbs are playing a deep psychological and spiritual game with us through the use of the internet. Let us know if you heard these mystery booms and have seen a UFO.
What is happening? What is going on? Oh my God! Oh my God!